Welcome to the class 12 students. This is the continuation part of the chapter Human Reproduction. In my previous video, that is a third part, I have talked about the female reproductive system, and I have told you how the whole system can be categorized into three broad parts, where the primary sex organ is one pair of ovary. The secondary or the accessory sex organs include the fallopian tube, the uterus, then the vagina, the Bartholin's gland, and the external organs include the mammary glands. Okay, now we have in details talked about ovary, the most important part, then fallopian tube, uterus, and also talked about the different parts of the structures of fallopian tube and uterus, and I hope you have understood those parts. Now let's continue with the next part of this female reproductive system. Okay, after uterus we come to Bartholin's gland. Now what is the function of this gland and where is this gland located? These are two pear-shaped glands. Pear-shaped means like the fruit pear, and very small in structure, and they are located on either side of the vaginal orifice. That means the hole or the vaginal canal on each side of the vaginal orifice or the hole. These Bartholin glands are located, one on each side, and these glands secrete mucus-like substance which make the vaginal orifice and the vaginal canals slippery, and thus helps in easy entry of sperms for reproduction. Okay, so the detailed topics about the female reproductive system is over, and now we will talk about the functions of the female reproductive system. So what are the functions of the female reproductive system? Similar to the male reproductive system, the two functions will be same in respect to females, that is oogenesis or production of egg or ovum, and the other main function is the production of the two female sex hormones, which are estrogen and progesterone. So these two functions are exactly similar to that of the male reproductive system, and other functions include fertilization of the ovum within the fallopian tube, and then there is the formation of the menstrual cycle, means during puberty the menstrual cycle starts, and then a female body becomes reproductively mature. So all these things are the functions, but the main functions are oogenesis, that is the production of egg, and formation of the female sex hormones, which are estrogen and progesterone. Okay, so these things are done. Next we will move on to the microscopic anatomy of testes and ovary. Microscopic anatomy means we will talk about the histological structure. What does histological structure means? What is histology? This histology is basically a branch of biology that deals with the study of the different types of tissues. Basically all our organs are ultimately made up of cells, and many a group of cells consisting of many different cells constitute or make a tissue, right? So when those tissues of different function and different structure, they are studied in details, that study is known as histology. And histological structure of any tissue means we are going to study the how that particular tissue looks, what the components of that tissue are, what is the structure of that tissue. So now we are going to talk about the histological structure of testes, and after that we will talk about the histological structure of ovary. Okay, so students, this is the cross-sectional view of testes, which is very important to understand the histological structure of testes. Okay, now the whole of the histological structure of testes, that means the tissue of testes, is made up of two types of cells. First one is the seminiferous tubule, and the second one is the Leydig cells. So first we will obviously talk about the seminiferous tubules in details. Okay, In each testis, there are a number of coiled tubules known as seminiferous tubules. As you can see here, it is marked here. So in each testis there are about 200 to 300 of such seminiferous tubules, and the wall of this seminiferous tubule, as you can see, this is the structure of the seminiferous tubule, right? This wall of this tubule is made up of two types of cells. Now let's discuss about those two types of cells. The wall of the seminiferous tubule is formed of two types of cells. The first one is the spermatogenic cells, which has many more stages, and the stages are shown here, and the other one is the Sertoli cells. So as I said, the first type of cells that form the seminiferous tubules are the spermatogenic cells, and these spermatogenic cells are again of 5 types. As you can see here, a few types. Spermatogonia is one of those phases is spermatogonia, number 1. Okay, next, number 2 is primary spermatocyte, number 2. After that, secondary spermatocyte. Secondary spermatocyte is not present in this picture, but the third stage of these spermatogenic cells is secondary spermatocyte. After that, spermatids, the fourth stage, and lastly spermatozoa, which is the mature sperm, which is also not located in this picture. Okay, so there are 5 stages of spermatogenic cells, and they are located from outside to inwards. That is, the outermost one is the spermatogonia, which is also the youngest stage of the spermatogenic cells. After spermatogonia comes the primary spermatocyte, then secondary spermatocyte, after that spermatid, which is the fourth stage, and finally the most matured stage, which is also the innermost cells, which form the spermatozoa or mature sperm. So all these types of cells form or fall under spermatogenic cells. So these spermatogenic cells are one type of cells that form the seminiferous tubules. The second type is the Sertoli cells. Okay, the Sertoli cells, or the cells of Sertoli, these are the Sertoli cells. You can look at the markings or the labelings, and they are elongated columnar cells scattered in the spermatogonia layer. Okay, so spermatogonia is the first layer of spermatogenic cells. So this outermost layer, around this portion, that is around the periphery of the seminiferous tubules, the Sertoli cells are located. And what is the function of these cells? These cells supply nourishment to the sperms and also give mechanical support to the sperms. So which are the sperms here? The fifth stage of the spermatogenic cells, which is not actually seen here. So those are the matured sperms, right? And they get their nourishment from the Sertoli cells, and these Sertoli cells also secrete a protein known as androgen binding protein and another protein known as inhibin protein. So these are the two types of cells that form the seminiferous tubules. Okay.